Vocabio. Master English your way.
That's a symptom of a devaluing of social concerns as the criteria.
In our country, and we are devaluing them. And not only that, we are making them feel bad.
As a result, when we do that, our thinking brain is devaluing and dismissing the ways that our
devalued and marginalized. Regardless,
gotten or devalued in a way.
How do we let go of disappointments and refocus to continue to be our best?
But his New Yorker article in 2017 refocused the attention on members of a billionaire family.
Medals will get nothing, but get to refocus for the last day, and then the last
20 minutes to truly refocus. Now think about your day. It's just a wash and distraction.
Very difficult. But the only way to refocus on the common good is to assume.
A la vez, es completamente sincronizado. Y lo malo que tiene el tándem.
And you articulate everything that is there. You synchronize it. If we are talking about Africa.
You, in synchronized fashion, are walking through the steps very methodically, like a.
I mentioned pair skating and ice dance and synchronized skating. And all of them have different specific
world problems, like how you synchronize clocks from one place to another. And
student's name and asking series of questions that instill deep anxiety and uncertainty.
Over those years, but it molded me and it helped instill the work ethic my parents had instilled in me when I was younger.
Like, I just care about them so much, and like I want to instill the confidence I have in them, you know, for them to have it.
And all the values that we will instill in them, and right now we fail those kids.
Really, what we try to you know, instill in our Googlers, as you know, we teach them how to.
2022, and we cherish the illusion that exalts us more than a host of.
Two roles she most cherished. My mother died peacefully with a musician at her bed.
All to protect the beverage that's become a cherished part of daily rituals worldwide.
It's actually one of the things that we cherish.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can appreciate. Now, one of the comments.
Kind of personal in the sense of self-cherishing, like I am so great.
The hypothalamic attack region in animals. In addition to inducing aggression.
Avoid the worst kind of punishment. Some might have been induced, others were strongly nationalistic, and the Japanese were saying.
Unless it was designed to induce those feelings of unique emotional connection.
5 times and put in an induced coma to save her life.
For human-made impact of carbon dioxide-induced climate change into the 2100s.
Secularism as a term is now only relegated to editorials written by people who
like that, and people in the disability community get relegated to just their disabilities. And
many women are now being relegated to these traditional gender roles, and it's maybe something that we should.
Responsibility has been relegated to the marketing or investor relations team, not the top.
In the hood. And it's not just relegated to the rich and elite. And it seems like the way that
reality show, I thought they were going to disown me. So, yeah, I mean, to this day, it's funny. My dad's still
talking about. She's like, no, the community will like disown me. And I was like, okay. Anyway, so like, can't
by here. Am I the one that you choose to disown as your child or your brother or your sister?
Elaborar cosas.
And with all of that, you elaborate things.
A
relationship. I said my parents would disown me if they knew. I assumed I would be fired at work.
The pressure to make the world conform to a binary model seems to me to be itself dangerous.
Students. So we want to be able to conform to what the students' needs are. So hearing the stories and being able to.
Data that are specifically of New Yorkers, do they conform to what?
Warren Ellis record. Does it conform in any way to the things that you talked about?
You know, the need to, or the desire to conform, you know, to try to be a part of a bigger group. And I'm sure that's true.
Logical traces on the onyx wall and reinterpret that in a kind of multi-layer, multi-species.
crazy interaction that you said, Seth, is reinterpreted as a positive and negative.
I suppose, we all look back at events and reinterpret them in the light of what happened later. But do you think that
we're of the culture, so we're reinterpreting, but also we're recreating our versions of the culture, just like
it was then rediscovered and reinterpreted, and so these moments of
need to color code or alphabetize or file fold unless that brings you joy.
I just picked, I thought it was alphabetized. I just picked the first name on the list, and his name was.
I have my spice drawer all alphabetized, and what I do is I use my, I have my spice drawer all alphabetized, and what I do is I use my,
design alphabetizing lists or long division or
experience is not to in any way denote a monolithic Black experience. What I want.
This image denotes what humankind is capable of.
It's used to refer to speakers of a common language or to denote national affiliation. But by the 17th...
The inscription of a series of archways to denote transitions between public and private spaces.
It could just be denoted through movement and through the angle of shape.
That the limb is gone because it has been amputated, but they continue to feel the presence of that limb.
With 3 toes that they amputated 6 months after I was adopted, so I could be fitted.
Could have stubbed their toe and thinks that they need to have it amputated just to stop the agony. You all know which type of person.
Hands, limbs, everything safe without it getting amputated. You need to have the proper equipment.
Threw in a word that I have scoured foils phylabary for. Can't even say it.
Really what that kind of did was scoured a lot of the landscape. It was like,
don't turn around and say, let me now scour this pan, or just stay in the moment of cooking. And I think that
as many cities as we could. We scoured public data portals. We contacted city.
Back to that black salt. It wasn't, I scoured all of the recipes in the first book, never saw it. And then
room to depart, embellish, add, and generate new tangents to the overall composition without diminishing.
He have insisted on having his wife embellished in beautiful silks rather than in a...
Grok affirmed, but it also embellished Adam's increasingly paranoid thoughts.
Or embellished, and inferences and interpretations are neither absolutely true.
And that only kind of embellished him in the eyes of Yamashev, who then promptly appointed him.
Although it's not codified by law, and it should be, but we're not even talking.
To your point. And the third are, can they be codified in ways that make it shareable? So to the point of even all those little...
But to actually codify the rules of projective geometry and perspective.
I think that this language kind of codifies that that kind of chasm.
It was necessary to begin to not just to codify, but actually to code particular forms.
Book, Devoured, about how we eat, defines who we are. Sophie, thank you.
Movement that from Federalists' eyes was devouring all who opposed it. Probably
long after all the food has been devoured.
In our family, there are 4 generations of
inheritance. But the phrase, the past devours the future, just in itself conveys so much more.
This book is Regenesis, Feeding the World Without Devouring the Planet, which is a fantastic read.
Become depressed, etc. But Medicare doesn't reimburse for many of these services, although they'll happily pay for
a Grubhub meal, or we offer to reimburse students for things. They love to hop on.
You already see people are suing to get reimbursed for money spent over the spring semester. Where do you see that all going?
$1,000 in assays right now, none of it's reimbursed. And so, but it looks like, as we're talking to this physician group,
when they get the new machines, they'll not only be reimbursed for them, but they'll be able to put them on the 3rd floor.
Wonderful. But if they're all sort of veering off, 1 to 2 to 3 years into the mix.
In mind when tempted to veer into any sort of argument. And I know she's watching tonight.
Invitation. It's so easy to just veer off and enter the memorial. And as you go in,
conversation is flying, but never veering into showmanship or relevance. Maybe that's
you know, where things kind of veered off course. So I basically try to say, like, look,
I think we've touched on a recurring theme, which is what we see visually really impact.
You know, one sees recurring patterns in finance.
Framed in a circle and a square, a reoccurring theme for Leonardo, where I showed you where it...
To take kind of one of the recurring themes that goes throughout this book is the experience of being a caregiver. Both
the cast included a roster of recurring characters. The interlocutor act.
Vocabio, available in Google Play. Download, discover, improve your English.